very good evening and welcome to the news tonight. Your one stop for the day's top stories. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. In a sharp reply to Pakistan, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj tells the UN General Assembly India offered peace but got terrorist attacks in return. Blood and water cannot flow together, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he leads a high-level review of the six-river Indus water treaty with Pakistan. ISRO creates history with a significant milestone, successfully launches PSLV C-35, injects 8 satellites in 2 separate orbits. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari leaves on a 5-day visit to Nigeria and Mali. Bilateral talks expected to strengthen India's relations with the 2 West African countries. And it's sweet victory for Team India, playing their 500th Test match. Beat New Zealand by 197 runs in the first Test at Kanpur. Lead the 3-match series 1-0. Our top story, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj today delivered a stinging retort to Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's speech delivered at the UN General Assembly last week. Sushma Swaraj said that Pakistan must abandon its dream of snatching Jammu and Kashmir, asserting that it is and always will remain an integral part of India. Hurling criticism at the neighbour, the External Affairs Minister added that despite an unprecedented outreach for 2 years, India has been meted out with a series of deadly terror attacks like Pathankot and Uri.
अध्यक्ष जी की शर्तों के आधार पर नहीं, मित्रता के आधार पर हमने पाकिस्तान के साथ सारे के सारे विवाद सुलझाने की पहल की थी और मित्रता भी सहजता की तरफ जा रही थी। कभी ईद की शुभकामनाएं, कभी क्रिकेट की शुभकामनाएं, कभी स्वास्थ्य के हाल का कुशलक्षेम। हमने 2 बरस में मित्रता का वो पैमाना खड़ा किया जो उससे पहले कभी नहीं था। लेकिन हमें मिला क्या बदले में? पठानकोट, उरी। अगर पाकिस्तान ये समझता है कि इस तरह की हरकतें करके या इस तरह के भड़काऊ बयान देकर वो भारत का कोई हिस्सा हमसे छीन सकता है, तो मैं पूरी दृढ़ता और स्पष्टता के साथ यहाँ ये कह देना चाहती हूँ कि आपका ये मंसूबा कभी कामयाब नहीं होगा। कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न हिस्सा है, जम्मू कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न हिस्सा है और अभिन्न हिस्सा रहेगा। इसलिए ये ख्वाब देखना छोड़ दें।
She also rejected Nawaz Sharif's contention that India had set preconditions for talks with Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री ने भारत के संबंध में 2 बातें कही जिनका जवाब देना चाहूँगी। एक तो उन्होंने कहा कि मेरे देश में मानवाधिकार का उल्लंघन हो रहा है। मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि जिनके अपने घर शीशे के हों उन्हें दूसरों पर पत्थर नहीं फेंकने चाहिए। ज़रा एक बार बगल में झांक कर देख लें क्या हो रहा है बलूचिस्तान में और वो खुद क्या कर रहे हैं वहाँ। मैं कह सकती हूँ यहाँ के आज जो बलूचिस्तान में हो रहा है वो यातनाओं की पराकाष्ठा है। और दूसरी बात उन्होंने कही कि भारत जो शर्तें बातचीत के लिए लगा रहा है वो हमें मंजूर नहीं है। ये समझ नहीं रही कौन सी शर्त, किस शर्त की बात की जा रही है।
And talking on terror, Sushma emphasized on the need for a global treaty on terror. She urged the global community to urgently adopt an agreement with a more contemporary approach in order to combat terrorism.
अध्यक्ष जी, यहाँ बैठे सब लोगों को पहले तो एक बार ये स्वीकारना होगा, यदि हम आतंकवाद से लड़ना चाहते हैं तो, कि आतंकवाद मानवाधिकारों का सबसे बड़ा उल्लंघन है। कि जिस किसी ने भी हिंसक विचारधारा के बीज बोए हैं उसका कड़वा फल उसे खाने को मिला है। ये छोटे छोटे आतंकवादी समूह जो छिटपुट काम कर रहे थे आज इन समूहों ने मिलकर एक राक्षस का रूप धारण कर लिया है, जिसके अनगिनत हाथ हैं, अनगिनत पांव हैं, अनगिनत दिमाग हैं और साथ में है अति आधुनिक तकनीक। इसलिए अब अपना या पराया, मेरा या दूसरे का आतंकवादी कहकर हम इस जंग को नहीं जीत पाएंगे। पता नहीं ये दैत्य किस समय किस तरफ का रुख कर लेगा। इसलिए यदि हम आतंकवाद को जड़ से उखाड़ना चाहते हैं तो एक ही तरीका है, हम अपने मतभेद भुलाकर आतंकवाद के खिलाफ एकजुट हों, उसका मुकाबला दृढ़ संकल्प से करें और अपने प्रयासों में तेजी लाएं।
The External Affairs Minister also informed the UNGA that India will ratify the landmark Paris climate deal next month on the 2nd of October, the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi.
जलवायु परिवर्तन एक और ऐसा मुद्दा है जो हमारे सामने एक गंभीर चुनौती बनकर खड़ा है। प्रकृति के पास संपदा तो अपार है, लेकिन उतनी ही जितनी वो मनुष्य की ज़रूरत को पूरा कर सके, इतनी नहीं कि वो उसके लालच का पेट भर सके, क्योंकि लोभ की तो कोई सीमा नहीं होती। इसीलिए हमारे यहाँ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक सिद्धांत दिया है, क्लाइमेट जस्टिस, जलवायु न्याय। और हम ये मानते हैं कि अगर प्रकृति के साथ हम न्याय करें तो वो हमारे और हमारी भावी पीढ़ियों के साथ न्याय करेगी, लेकिन यदि हम उसका अंधाधुंध दोहन करेंगे तो वो क्रोधित हो जाएगी और अपना रौद्र रूप दिखाएगी।
And in the end, Sushma Swaraj highlighted the various developmental schemes of the Indian government, assuring the world that the country is committed towards marching towards development.
17 लक्ष्य हैं, 2030 तक का एजेंडा, लेकिन मुझे आपको कहते हुए खुशी है कि मात्र 2 साल में ही इन 17 में से अधिकतर लक्ष्यों को भारत सरकार ने अपने राष्ट्रीय कार्यक्रमों में शामिल कर लिया है। सैनिटेशन यानी स्वच्छता, उसके अंतर्गत हमने स्वच्छ भारत अभियान छेड़ा है, जिसके अंतर्गत 2 लाख विद्यालयों में 4 लाख शौचालय बनकर तैयार हो गए हैं और काम कर रहे हैं। इस तरह की पहलों से भारत की विकास यात्रा में नए आयाम जुड़े हैं और आज आर्थिक मंदी के दौर में भी भारत विश्व की बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्थाओं में सबसे तेजी से विकास करने वाली अर्थव्यवस्था बन गया है।
All right, let's head on to more news. And amid growing calls to repeal the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today chaired a meeting with NSA Ajit Doval and Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar. Senior officials of the PMO were also present at the meeting, in which the Prime Minister is learned to have considered the pros and cons of the 56-year-old treaty.
The 56-year-old Indus Waters Treaty that survived 3 major wars and repeated challenges to India-Pakistan relations is once again back in focus. Heightened tensions between the neighbours after the Uri attack has triggered demands in India to rethink the water sharing agreement. On Monday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met senior officials to discuss the legal, political and diplomatic options on nullifying the treaty. The meeting was attended by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar and senior PMO officials. At the closed-door meeting, the Prime Minister is learned to have expressed serious concern over the increasing attacks on India by groups backed by the Pakistani government, asserting that blood and water can't flow together. The decision to examine the Indus Treaty comes just days after MEA spokesperson Vikas Swarup told the media that for any such treaty to work, mutual trust and goodwill are essential.
The preamble of the treaty itself says it's based on goodwill. So for such a treaty to work, it is important that there must be mutual trust and mutual cooperation between both the sides. It cannot be a one-sided affair.
Experts are, however, divided over the merits of renegotiating the international water sharing agreement.
Since it's an international treaty to which we have signed and we are a responsible country and we can't behave irresponsibly at the international level, especially as we have aspirations to be considered a global player. But the fact also is that there are provisions in the treaty which allow us to use those provisions in a way that increases pressure on Pakistan legitimately and legally.
We have already been permitted about 2 million acre-feet of storage in Chenab and Jhelum Valley by way of carrying out the irrigation, local irrigation in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And we haven't yet fully utilized this quantum. and we are still planning or trying to investigate the projects which can really facilitate this much amount of storage. We should actually try to expedite this. This will not even require abrogation of the treaty, but it will definitely send a message that we are very serious about utilizing our share of water.
Although political parties want the government to send out a strong diplomatic message to Pakistan.
छेद 62 के अंदर वियना कन्वेंशन में इस प्रकार की ट्रीटी को रद्द करने की पूरा अधिकार क्षेत्र है। किसी भी करारनामे के जिस पे हस्ताक्षर किया है जिसने, साथ साथ अगर उस करारनामे के अंतर्गत भी काम किया जाए तो भी ऐसी कई विकल्प हैं। उदाहरण के तौर पे और कई अलग-अलग स्थित जगहों पे डैम्स बनाना।
Signed in 1960 by then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and Pakistani President Ayub Khan, the treaty was brokered by the World Bank. It's said to be more liberal to Pakistan, allocating 80% of water from 6 rivers, Beas, Ravi, Satluj, Indus, Chenab and Jhelum to the country. A cut-off in water supply by India is expected to cause major crisis in Pakistan as a majority of its areas are dependent on this water. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, in Kashmir, 5 CRPF men were injured in a grenade attack by militants in Kulgam district on Monday. Suspected militants reportedly hurled a grenade at a road opening party of the CRPF near Wanpo village. The grenade missed their intended target and exploded on the roadside, injuring 5 CRPF men who have now been hospitalized. Security forces have cordoned off the area and a manhunt has been launched to nab the attackers. Kulgam district is the worst hit region in the ongoing Kashmir unrest that has killed 90 people in over a month and a half of violence. In other news, the Indian Space Research Organization achieved one more milestone on Monday through the launch of the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle or PSLV C-35. The PSLV, carrying 3 satellites from India, 3 from Algeria and 1 each from Canada and the US, lifted off successfully from Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, +1, 2, 3.
Countdown to India's most challenging space mission yet. The Indian Space Research Organization on Monday injected 8 satellites from a single rocket into 2 separate orbits. The successful launch of the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-35 marked a historical moment for the Indian Space Agency.
Today we have seen a launch from PSLV where we have been able to put different satellites from different countries and our own SCATSAT being put into different orbits, different local times, and this is one of the new capability which PSLV has demonstrated. What we are doing is we are launching on commercial basis, and today so far we have launched for about 21 countries, almost something like 79 satellites, I think. 79 satellites we have launched for 21 countries.
3 of the 8 satellites were from India, 3 from Algeria and 1 each from Canada and the US. While India's CATSAT-1 is meant for weather forecasting, cyclone detection and tracking, the 2 academic satellites were Pratham and PISAT.
CATSAT-1 is a continuity mission for our OceanSat-2 scatometer. This will provide wind vectors where wind speed and direction will come to know. Which in turn gives to predict cyclones much earlier and serves the nation and international users. It is in good health. I am very sure it will do the needful to the country and international users.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the ISRO scientists, saying that their innovative zeal had made India proud. ISRO hopes to achieve another milestone before the year end by launching its communications satellite, the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle Mark III, on October 4th. With inputs from Aruna Thakur, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged the scientific community to focus on ways to increase crop yield. Addressing scientists on the occasion of the Platinum Jubilee of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research on Monday, he praised CSIR for the indelible mark it has left on every sphere of life.
Emphasizing that the 21st century is technology-driven, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India's increasing requirements can be met only through a scientific solution. Raising concerns over water security, the Prime Minister also underscored the need for efficient water usage to improve crop varieties.
हमारे एग्रीकल्चर एरिया में फोकस टारगेटेड ऐसी चीज़ें डेवलप करने की दिशा में सोच सकते हैं ताकि एक एश्योर्ड मार्केट आने वाले 50-100 साल तक हम प्राप्त कर सकते हैं.
Stressing that no nation could progress without scientific innovation, Prime Minister also called for a talent hunt for scientists, innovators and entrepreneurs.
इनकी हर क्षेत्र में टैलेंट पड़ी है, वो अवसर के तलाश में है. क्या हमारी लैब्स इन हमारे बच्चों के लिए आकर्षण का केंद्र बन सकती हैं?
Prime Minister Modi also dedicated 7 new indigenously developed varieties of plants to the nation. On the occasion, a number of scientists were awarded for their contribution to the field. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
With that, a quick break. We'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
Gyan Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Welcome back. Let's get to some more national news now. And the Karnataka government has moved the Supreme Court seeking modification of its September 20th order on the Kaveri water sharing issue. The apex court had directed Karnataka to release 6,000 cusecs of Kaveri water per day for 8 days to Tamil Nadu. Karnataka, in its fresh plea, expressed inability to release the water, saying that its reservoirs don't have adequate water and that it can release the water only in December. Low rainfall in the state has been cited as the reason for this situation. The Supreme Court has also had in fact directed the centre to constitute within 4 weeks. The Kaveri Water Management Board is directed by the Kaveri Water Disputes Tribunal in its award.
If today the direction of the Supreme Court is being implemented, then there will be a huge scarcity of the drinking water. So I think the Honorable Supreme Court will take a lenient view and take into consideration the ground realities and hope that the Government of India will also intervene and apprise the Honorable Supreme Court. And at the same time, we appeal to the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu also that they should also take a human view.
Meanwhile, a flood alert has been sounded in Telangana as water levels are rising in the river Godavari due to huge inflow of water following heavy rainfall. Alerts have been sounded for Karimnagar, Warangal and Khammam districts. Officials are in fact to stay in touch with their Maharashtra counterparts to assess the flood situation and to take steps accordingly. While overall 11 people have died in rain-related incidents in Telangana, over 1,000 people from 6 villages in Karimnagar district alone have been evacuated due to flooding. Chief Minister K.C. Rao held a review meeting with officials after conducting an aerial survey of the Mid-Maner Dam and rain-affected areas. The Chief Minister has directed officials to be prepared for any eventuality and to give utmost priority to saving humans and cattle. He asked the administration to pay ex gratia to the family members of those who died in rain-related incidents and to those whose houses were damaged. And here are more national news updates in Nationwide. The Supreme Court today deferred the hearing on 2 appeals against controversial RJD leader Mohammad Shahabuddin to Wednesday. The appeals challenged the bail granted to Shahabuddin by the Patna High Court in a murder case. The High Court ordered his release from Bhagalpur jail on the 10th of September. Shahabuddin was in jail for 11 years in connection with dozens of cases against him. The Special Task Force of the Kolkata Police arrested 6 members of Bangladesh-based Jamaat Mujahideen on Monday. 4 of the 6 are wanted in the 2014 Khagragar blast case. Anwar Hussain Farooq, the outfit's West Bengal chief who had a bounty of 10 lakh rupees on his head announced by the NIA, is one of those arrested. The Congress staged a protest at Jantar Mantar along with street vendors expressing their support to Street Vendor Act 2014. The party asked the state government to ensure livelihood for these vendors. It also asked the government to issue permanent licenses and form a town vending committee. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari has arrived in Nigeria's capital Abuja. The Vice President is on a 5-day visit to Nigeria and Mali. He will hold bilateral talks with the leadership of the two West African nations besides participating in a number of events. The Vice President is leading a delegation including the Minister of State for Finance and MPs from Bhubaneswar. In Abuja, Ansari will hold talks with the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, the Vice President, President of the Senate, Speaker of the House of Representatives and deliver an address at the National Defence College of Nigeria. He will also meet the Governor of Lagos and deliver an address at the Joint Business Forum at the University of Lagos. In Mali, the Vice President, in fact, will meet the President, the Prime Minister and also address the National Assembly. The visit is aimed at boosting relationship between the two countries and explore new areas of bilateral cooperation. International political tensions have escalated over Syria, with the United States slamming Russia at an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. The US called Russia's action in Syria barbaric as government forces relentlessly bombed the besieged city of Aleppo. Russia, however, said that ending the war was now an almost impossible task.
As conflict rages on in Syria, political tensions have also escalated between world powers. On Sunday, the United States slammed Russia's action in Syria, calling it barbarism. At an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, US Ambassador Samantha Power said Russia had told the Council outright lies about its conduct in Syria.
Russia and Assad have reportedly launched more than 150 airstrikes over the last 72 hours, killing at least 139 people and injuring hundreds more, laying waste to what is left of an iconic Middle Eastern city.
Russia, which has denied bombing Aleppo since the end of the recent ceasefire, however said that Syrian forces were trying to remove terrorists from Aleppo with as few civilian casualties as possible. The Russian envoy also accused rebel groups of sabotaging the ceasefire, adding that ending the war was now almost an impossible task.
В результате на территории Сирии орудуют сотни вооруженных группировок. Территорию страны бомбят все, кому не лень. Возвращение страны к миру стало почти невозможной задачей.
UN Syria mediator Stefan de Mistura said the conflict had reached new heights of horror, but asserted there was still hope to change things. He urged members to come up with a way to enforce the failed cessation of hostilities.
I am still convinced that we can turn the course of events. We have proven this more than once before.
Meanwhile, on the ground, government forces continued bombing the besieged city of Aleppo. More than 60 people were killed in Sunday's attacks on rebel-held neighborhoods, taking the civilian death toll to 231 since the truce collapsed last week. Amidst all the violence, 70 trucks filled with humanitarian aid were delivered to 4 besieged towns for the first time in almost 6 months. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's get you some more international news updates in Global Buzz. Afghan security forces killed a top Pakistani Taliban commander Rais Khan along with at least 10 other militants in a border area operation. Also known as Azam Khan Tariq, Khan had 20 million rupees bounty on his head and was the 4th highest ranking commander in the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. He worked as chief TTP spokesperson from 2009 to 2013 and was close aide to former TTP chief Hakimullah Masood. Two teenage girls suspected of planning a fresh attack in Nice were arrested today. The arrest comes barely 2 months after a terror attack rocked the French city. The suspects stay in the same neighborhood as a radicalized Tunisian man who drove the truck that killed 86 people in the city on the 14th of July. The girls revealed that they were in touch with Rashid Qasim, a French jihadist who lives in the part of Syria that is controlled by the Islamic State. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos and Marxist rebel leader Timochenko will sign a peace deal on Monday. The deal will end a half-century war that has killed 250,000 people, stymied the economy and made Colombia a byword for violence. The deal to end Latin America's longest-running conflict will turn the FARC guerrilla group into a political party fighting at the ballot box instead of the battlefield that it has occupied since 1964. All right, cricket now. In India registered a thumping 197-run win against New Zealand in Kanpur. The dominating victory was even sweeter as it came in India's 500th Test match. With this win, India has taken a 1-0 lead in the three-match series. New Zealand came into the fifth day chasing down a target of 434 with only 6 wickets in hand. Even though the Kiwi batsmen held on and delayed the inevitable in the morning session, India broke through their defence in the second session. R. Ashwin emerged the hero of the match, claiming his 5th 10-wicket haul. In the process, he also became the fastest Indian to get 200 Test wickets and the second fastest in Test history, having achieved the feat in his 37th match. Mohammad Shami accelerated India's march towards victory, claiming 2 quick wickets late in the morning session, and in post-lunch session, Ashwin completed the formalities, taking the last 3 wickets. Luke Ronchi and Mitchell Santner were the only 2 New Zealand batsmen that put up some resistance, scoring 80 and 71 respectively.
Start off restricting India to 300 on a good batting surface was a very good effort. We weren't able to sustain that pressure with the bat towards the end of our innings, and they bowled very well. So it's a combination of many things, but at the end of the day, India certainly were the better team.
They showed good resilience, good resistance, and that's something that you want to see from an opposition. And I think credit goes to New Zealand as well. The reason the match went on to the second session on day 5 was because of the character they showed and the guts they showed. So it was exciting to play this game, and I'm sure the series is going to be more competitive as we go on.
And here are more updates from the world of sports in Sportsbeat. India's tennis star Sania Mirza maintained her top position in the latest WTA women's doubles ranking. Sania recently won the Pan Pacific Open with Czech Republican partner Barbara Strykova, but is only 5 points ahead from her former partner Martina Hingis. In the men's singles ranking, Saket Maineni is in the top place. He is in fact the top placed Indian at 138th position. Liana Pace and his men's doubles partner Andre Begemann suffered a heartbreaking defeat in the final of the St. Petersburg Open. The Indo-German pair failed to convert a match point in the super tie-break against their opponents Dominic Inglot and Henri Continen as they lost 6-4, 3-6, 10-12. The defeat leaves Liana Pace without a men's doubles title on the ATP Tour this year. Legendary US golfer Arnold Palmer passed away at the age of 87. During a long career, Palmer won more than 90 tournaments worldwide, including 7 majors. The US Golf Association called him golf's greatest ambassador as tributes poured in from all around the world. German champions Bayern Munich maintained their 100% start to Bundesliga with a 1-0 victory over Hamburg. Joshua Kimmich scored the only goal in the 88th minute to protect Bayern's 3-point lead at the top. Borussia Dortmund meanwhile beat Freiburg 3-1 to keep their chase up in second place. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.